one thing that I don't have pulled up are the questions that we had from last week for Emily. So we can jump into that if we have time, and if that works for you, Emily, too.
Yeah, I didn't look at questions. Was I supposed to?
Yeah. Well, we had one from last week that we didn't get to, but I'm sure.
Okay, because I kind of put together a little thing to go over.
Okay, I think that will be fine. And then if we have time and questions at the end,
Yeah,
we can do that too.
let's do that.
Perfect. Well, people are still just jumping on. So I just wanted to do a couple of announcements. Today is the last day for the early bird pricing for convention. So if you haven't registered, I really recommend getting in on that. Earlier about how it changed her business, and I totally agree. It is so worth it. If you have the slightest inkling of wanting to do it. I mean, I totally recommend that. The other thing with convention credits, today is our first or the last day of the month to get as many convention credits as you can. So if you're close to like 2,500 PV or what is it, 1,500, whatever the thresholds are, if you're close, maybe go ahead and make an order to bump yourself up to the next level of credits. You will be happy that you did when you start getting those points rolling in. They used to come on Wednesday nights. I don't know when the announcements with your credits are going to start coming in. Probably soon, I would imagine. But it's worth it to try to maximize those PV credits because that's where you get the bulk of your convention credits. Any other announcements that anybody can think of? I'm curious, how many of you did your sip and see? Maybe just a wave if you did it in January? Yeah? That's awesome. That really makes me happy. Isn't it a little bit scary, but a little bit awesome too? Yeah, that's what I thought. Good, you guys. What else? This is probably the last Zoom call that we're going to do for a little while. We will still have the group page open. We still want you guys to encourage to keep posting and sharing in the page, and any tips that you have that are working well for you. Keep doing the magic text, like keep doing this, but we want you guys to have a few weeks to duplicate this with your own teams and your leaders that you have. I mean, it makes people feel really, really special to be invited to a really smaller, more intimate group of leaders, right? Didn't you guys all feel pretty special to be invited? I recommend duplicating this with your own team. And if you don't want it to be just you and your team, find a sideline partner or 2 or 3 like I did, and make it a bigger group because it really, really just builds momentum, and it's so much fun to learn from each other. That is one thing. I did a new ambassador training with some people in Denver today, and none of us are on the same team, but you guys, what we can learn from working together, and it's so awesome. So really unique that Plexus has a compensation plan that sort of rewards that type of behavior, and I just think we can all learn so much from each other. So I recommend just teaming up with people that you can lock arms with and go for it, because we all have the goal of being emeralds by July. So that is my final advice and recommendations for all of you. So hope you can duplicate this just like we do in everything with Plexus, and I hope it works really well for everybody. So with that, unless anybody has anything else to add, I think we should turn it over to our Diamond Ambassador, Emily Finnell. Yeah?
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute again.
There we go.
Not very good at this. Okay, first of all, it totally doesn't feel real. Like I don't really feel like I'm a diamond yet. So I think it's going to take a little while to sink in. But I really thought through today what I want to share with you guys, because I think the most important thing for this group right now is to really wrap your head around being a leader. That's kind of how I see you guys. If you are focusing on becoming a jewel by July, then you are a leader. You're stepping up and saying you're ready to be a leader. So I thought about what are the foundations of being a successful leader. And for me, I kind of put them in 3 different categories. Your character, your relationships with others, and your faith. Now the faith piece is, this is, my beliefs. Some people just, if you're more comfortable with spiritual, or a lot of it is the positivity and positive affirmations and those kind of things, which I'll get a little bit more into in a second. But when we're talking about character, I want you guys to realize and really, really own that any choice that you make as a leader, your team is going to do as you do, not as you say. So no matter what you tell your team, they're watching you and they're going to do what you do. So when you truly care about your team, when you truly, truly care, it's not just about you promoting, but you really care about where they are. They can tell. People can tell when you're genuine. They can tell when you really are caring about them. Being present to the needs of your ambassadors, but not doing things for them. So that's a really hard thing when you're a leader, and this is all new. And a lot of your teammates are your friends, and you want to help them. And it's hard to kind of that gray area of helping versus empowering. So, and again, a lot of the things that you're going to learn as a leader you're going to be a work in progress always. So I always feel like every situation that comes in front of you as a Plexus ambassador, whether it's your customers or your ambassadors, you are learning from it. And I always feel like it's kind of brought to you for a reason. So every situation that's challenging, ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? And learn something. Now, hold on. Okay. Oh, this is, how did I put this? Ask. Oh, okay. So when your ambassador comes, or when your ambassadors come to you with advice, you'll find that some of them want you to fix problems for them. And that comes back to that empowering thing. Sonia Dudley says that when people come to her, she says, oh, wow, what are you going to do about that? Like, what do you think you should do? Always coming back with a question. I know everybody's seen that quote, something like, real leadership is instilling leadership in others. I'm totally butchering it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what this character piece has to do with. So you want them to think about how they should handle situations, but you are going to be modeling what you want them to do. So instead of spoon feeding it to them, you're just going to model it, and then you're going to let them come across, how they're going to handle things. Now, this is very important. If you don't write anything else down, write this down. You are not the boss. That's very, very hard to, it is. You kind of start taking that role. You are here to celebrate people's accomplishments. You are here to motivate. You are here to paint that picture and that dream for people. But you're not in charge of managing them. I wrote down, when I was thinking about this, accountability is different than management. So if you have an ambassador who says, I'm ready to do this, I want to go gold or whatever it is, then you're gonna say, okay, I usually figure out, again, where are you on this? Are you ready and willing to put in what you need to reach your goal? And then let's do some baby steps. What are you going to do this week? And again, what are you going to do? You're letting them kind of come up with their game plan. You're not feeding it to them. You're not giving them exactly what they need to hear. You're letting them figure out for themselves what they need to do to get there. And then you are going to set accountability calls or whatever works for them. Maybe accountability emails, or maybe baby step incentives. You can kind of work through, and again, every ambassador is different. You don't want to cookie cut and do everything for, the same for everyone. But I think that's really important. Accountability is different from management. You're not a manager. You are a partner and a cheerleader. So that's kind of what I was thinking about when I thought about your character in this business. The next thing is relationships. Now, we all know that this business is based on relationships. Now, team page is huge for relationships. If you are not utilizing your team page to build relationships, then you're missing out on the huge part of the team page. So I want you to think of your team page as like a bonding ground. You want everyone, it was Jacqueline Stanley's the one who came up with or for me, I'd never heard of it before, working together for incentives, having them join arms and cheer each other on. I was like, wow, that is so brilliant. Like, we don't want, your team should be locking arms together. I love that Allison said that tonight. Like, find people, it doesn't matter who they are. We're one plexus. Find people that have similar goals that you can lock arms with, and who cares who gets paid, whatever. I mean, we're working together because we're excited to help others. That's what the bottom line is. So you want your team page to kind of have that feel of we are a team, and pump each other up. So I have a little convention plug, but I'll do that in a minute. I think another thing that is good to do on team pages is I want you guys to really, really know not only your level ones, but start finding some leadership in even farther down levels, and put those, everybody brings something to the table, right? Some people are really, really into product knowledge. Some people are really, really into helping people work through troubleshoot product issues. Some people are really, really into training, and some people are really, really into building momentum. So find what each person's thing is, right? And highlight it, and to give your team leadership skills, like saying, hey, I noticed that you are doing, you're really good at pumping people up and teaching them about why it's important to go silver. Would you be willing to do a little quick video or a post on the team page about that? I think you have a lot to share. So finding those things in your downline, highlighting them, and then bringing them to the surface and celebrating them as a team. That's going to be awesome for you guys to train each other, and it's going to really, really build those leadership skills in your team. So those are just some ideas for your team page. Your relationship with your relationships with your ambassadors they're very, very important. So Celeste said there was something on the Jewel page the other day about what do you think was the most important attribute that you had that helped you become a Jewel, or some question like that. Anyway, Celeste put something about no drama, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like we don't talk about it enough, but you guys, keeping yourselves drama free is going to keep you moving forward. Drama sucks people back. It sucks energy. It's like, it's not worth it. We are a whole lot of women dealing with a whole lot of money, and we're women. We're gonna get upset about things. And you need to stop and take a deep breath and take your ego out of it, and put friendships and relationships before any of those things. So I think that's important. And I think if you're teaching your teams. So these are all things you're going to be modeling for your teams, and you'll see that they're watching you and they're going to do what you do. So now my plug for convention, you guys, if you do anything, go to convention. It changed everything. I did a little post on Power by Plexus today about that specifically, because honestly, this group I can tell you right now, this group itself would not be here if it was not for convention. Right, Allison, Megan? I mean, you guys, the bonding that took place that week for us was like, and I know, trust me, I know it's a huge investment. I know it's a time investment. I know it's a financial investment, but is it worth it? Yes. And somebody posted on the Power by Plexus team something like, those who go move up, or I don't know. I'm like totally saying that wrong. It was really cute. Whatever it was, go look at Power by Plexus. But anyway, those who put the time and effort into going to convention, it's going to change your business. Again, that comes down to the relationships that are formed. So relationships with your ambassadors, empowering your teams on the team page, and staying drama free. Very, very important. So the last piece is faith. Lori Harrison, if you guys know who that is, if you don't, look her up. She's amazing. I think they call her like the fungus queen or something. She is a diamond ambassador. And in Hawaii, I ran into her and I said, you know how sometimes when you're around like people like that, you're just like, oh my gosh, tell me something, like anything. Like I need to hear from you, you know, like they just have so much knowledge. And I asked her, what do you think, what's your trick? What do you know, what's your secret to getting as far as you have, as quickly as you have? And she said, I do have a secret. She said, the most powerful thing I do on my team is positive affirmations. She said, I see a black and white, night and day difference when people start doing positive affirmations. That's huge, you guys. Do you know what positive affirmations are? Just those, I am a emerald. I am a ruby. You know, you tell yourself that. You believe it every day in the bathroom. Oh wait, in this notebook, actually, I have these affirmations written down that I just thought were amazing. I don't remember where I found them, but anyway, here it is. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I love that. Covers everything, right? So things like that, accept what is and let go of what was. Have faith in what will be. So, I mean, there are things that you can just tell yourself. Writing these things down. Writing down to me is very important. You know, in Sunday school today, we did a lesson on how you have the power over your own thoughts. And it was a really cute lesson. It was like this Bible story about this boy who, you know, he just would have these crazy thoughts and his thoughts would take over. And he ended up never getting to what he wanted to do because he was just following these thoughts in his head. And anyway, this older, wiser man explained to him that he has power over his thoughts. And I was like, that is so true. And we need to be reminded of that. When you start spiraling out, just say stop. And for me, that's where prayer comes in. That's where you just give it to God. You know, you let go. You're not going to have control over everything. So don't let those negative thoughts distract you. You change your attitude. And if you are not a praying person, I do recommend at least writing it down, doing the positive affirmations. But for me, prayer has been a really, really big part of my business. And I'm trying to remember who I was talking to about this, but at first it seemed like, oh, I think it was Jacqueline says, well, I feel weird praying about my business. Well, think about what we're doing in our business. We are helping people. We're helping people change their health and their wealth, their lives. How is that not doing God's work in the world? And I pray about my ambassadors more than I pray about anything else. You know, I pray for my ambassadors to continue on their journey. And I pray for them to hit that next goal and that next step. And there's no shame in that. Again, I know I'm a huge Celeste fan, but Celeste told me that she prays over her team and she actually prayed for us by name. I'm like her level 6. And she said, I've been praying for you since you started. And I'm just like, oh my God, you know, that's just amazing. So anyway, learn from the best. And I continue to do that every time I'm around any of those diamonds. I'm like, tell me what to do. So anyway, that's kind of what I thought through and wanted to share with you guys. But I would love to answer questions. That's kind of my fave, is just talking to you guys and seeing what you want to hear from me. So I don't know if Allison, do we just want to open it up to questions, or do you have specific questions you want to ask?
I would like to go back to the questions that were originally answered or asked on the page. So I'm trying to pull it up right now. Hold, please.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I feel bad. I didn't even look. I didn't even realize there were questions that I needed to answer. But hopefully that gave you guys some good info. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to share. This has been an awesome month. Is everybody excited about this month? I feel like pay points will be up because so many people are trying to hit those PVs for credits. So hopefully those will be moving up as well.
Yeah, and the new welcome kits. What do you call them?
Yeah,
They're out now, so that's super exciting.
That's so exciting.
I haven't posted all that on my page yet. I am not finding it yet. Does anybody remember one that they asked? Oh wait, here maybe.
Did you find them?
That wasn't it.
Allie, are they on the Rise or the Jewel by July?
That's what I'm going through, and I just don't see them. So why don't we just go with the flow? Why don't we just ask if you have questions for Emily?
I remember mine.
Go for it.
Oh, yay! Somebody remembers that.
Hi, it's Tiari.
Hi, Tiara. I know your voice.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm like, do I have to like share me or can you see me?
We can see you.
Okay. So like I feel like half of my ambassadors as my team grows are not like dream teamers. They're not even like really good friends. It's almost acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's really hard for me to connect with them like by phone or even just, you know what I mean? Because we don't connect normally anyway. And it's like a whole new connection in a personal sense and a business sense. So like, have you had that for any of your level ones? And like, what did you do to engage them? You know, I mean, we've gotten them on welcome calls and we've gotten most of them. And I don't know. It's just a weird predicament, you know?
Yeah, I think it's all very individualized. Like it depends on each person and kind of what they want to do.
Right.
What I would do is just like you do with sharing Plexus, the products, just keep dripping on them. So checking in, it's all about the way that you kind of put it out there. But I feel like you could, like any excuse you can find to reach out to them specifically, use that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have new welcome packs. Like, that's a time where you call them and say, oh my gosh, great news. This is actually the perfect time. I know you were interested in the business. This is the time, you know, this is it. And this is why. So you could really use anything as an excuse to keep checking in and those kind of, and sharing those kind of things with them. But what it takes is it's going to go back to that forming a relationship with them. I definitely have ambassadors that I was not very close to at the beginning, and our relationship is formed through our journey with them. So, but it's all about getting that relationship started, but also painting that picture and having them understand why. I mean, why do they want to be involved? Why would they want to? And another thing is maybe just sending them a diamond documentary and saying, hey, you know, watch this. It made me think of you, whatever. Those diamond docs for me are such a great way to paint a picture.
Right.
And you can even say, you know, my two friends, Emily and Stacy, just went diamond. You know, they've only been doing this, you know, less than 2 years, whatever. But try to get them to understand what the potential could be, and then continue to try to build a relationship.
That's a good idea. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
I also will add that I think Zoom calls are great. So like just this interaction, seeing everybody, I think it adds something, a different element than you don't get with like freeconferencecall.com or other smaller team calls. I love Zoom. So I think it was scary for me initially to set up Zoom, but I think it's really worth it. And if you can get your team kind of feeling like they know each other, and I think that's really helpful.
Yes, I do agree with that too. Does anybody else have any questions? I have a question for myself that I answered today in my head that I can share. Okay, so that's crazy, Emily. So I was thinking this morning, wow, you know, we have all these new ambassadors that are brand new, that want to go silver, that want to build a team. And now we've rolled out this welcome video and welcome call. And a lot of these newbies are going to be like, wow, now you want me to make a video? Like, do you know how scary it is to make a video for some people and to be like, welcome to Plexus, make a video for all your, like that might really intimidate people. So I was thinking that I think it really is going to take you looking at your individual team and figuring out what's right for you. So if it is, I know that I'm really crazy about the integrity of the three-way, whatever, but I want you to know there's exceptions to that rule, I guess. and really look at your team on a case-by-case basis and see what is appropriate for this new ambassador. Is it more appropriate for you to make a video or to do just so anyway, there are exceptions to the rule, and I guess that's all. I guess that's my answer to it is, to push a brand new ambassador into making a welcome video could push them away. So just be cognizant of that. Does that make sense?
That's a good point. And, we always have our success plan as a great, really easy, really duplicatable system and plan that you can use.
But don't be afraid to also ask people, you can explain that this is what we do. Are you ready for that? Or have some other options. But anyway, just really think about these individual ambassadors and what's best for them.
I have a question on that line of thought. So I feel like I have been a good leader for the people who started out like me, meaning they were self-motivated, didn't need lots of hand-holding, just were kind of ready to go for it and jump out of their comfort zone. I feel like I've struggled and done a poor job of motivating people who needed more help, needed more guidance, because I just feel like I can't want it for you. You have to do this yourself.
That whole lead the horse to water thing.
Yeah, I think I took it too far, where if they weren't, posting right away, or they weren't emailing their friends and family, then I was kind of like, okay, check you later. And I feel like I lost a lot of potentials who could be great, but I didn't gear it more towards them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does. And unfortunately, it's easy to do. And that's where those relationships on your team pages, that can solve that problem for you. I have ambassadors on my team that are like that. You tend to pour into those who are ready to go, right? So I'm spending my time and energy on those that are running. We call them your runners, that they're going, that's who you're pouring into. Well, people can slip through the cracks, and it's, first of all, don't beat yourself up. There are times where I say, shoot, I really should have been there more for this ambassador. But what I found, the solution to that for me, and it's happened on its own, is that these people find other people that are on their same level of enthusiasm, and they lock arms together and they kind of form their own little, I have a whole little group that they call themselves the Slow Goes, or I don't know, they have like some little name, and they have their own team page now, and they're doing it their way, and they found each other. So I think that's what it comes down to, is those relationships being formed, and sideline or whatever line, locking arms with others that are with you. So, any other questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I know you said the last call that you were a gold ambassador was it for a year before you promoted?
It was a long time. I have to look back and see exactly how long it was. It was a while.
So what kickstarted you? What did you do to grow your business so fast from that? Like since you're on hold for a year, did you work it through Facebook? Did you do vendor shows, sip and sees? What did you do that you really pushed for that?
So really all of the above. I was, what call did I kind of tell my story? Was that the Emerald?
That was
I
don't know.
Rising Emeralds. I don't know. I kind of went more in depth in my story, but my story, everybody's story is unique. Everybody says. But mine is unique in that I kind of had a perfect storm, I would say, the beginning of last year. The perfect storm of dream teamers joining me, opening my heart and mind to the success plan and getting out of my comfort zone. And I had been, the one thing I was doing right up until then was the consistency of my posts and learning. I think those are the two things I did really, really right at the beginning, because I was consistent with posts and sharing, and I was learning as much as I could. So when that perfect storm did hit of my dream teamers and getting out of my comfort zone, I was ready for it. So in fact, it's funny. I remember praying around that time. I think it was November and December. I remember praying, I'm ready. I'm ready for her. That's what I told God. I'm ready for her, whoever she is, but I'm ready for my rock star. And I didn't feel ready until then. So it took me a while to feel ready. But once I did, I prayed, and God answered my prayer times 4.
Great. Thank you.
I hope I answered your question. Wait, sorry.
So actually, I did that training today, and Kim Pollock was talking about how many legs. She asked the group, how many legs do you think it took me to get to Emerald? And I think that was really interesting and eye-opening for those brand new people to hear.
What was your answer?
How many level 1s do you have, and how many legs do you have that are like silver and above? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Oh no, I'm horrible at that kind of stuff. I don't.
You guys just do it.
I can look. Well, wait, but how many does Kim have? I'm curious.
She, I guessed 5. I guessed that she had 5 strong legs. She has 4.
4.
But she said she probably had at least, what did she say, 1,000 people under her, and then not all of them obviously are active. So
yeah,
it's really interesting, that perspective of it doesn't take 100 people under you.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. They say I heard Jen Hawkins do a training on this, and she was talking about how when you have 2 strong legs, that's all it takes. 3 strong legs, you're done. Like you got it. And then 4 strong legs is I don't remember how she worded it, but basically wealth for life. I'm trying to pull up. I can pull up probably mine exactly, but I would say I have 4, now 5 strong legs that are really, really pushing. And then I have probably 4 people who are moving slower, but they have every intention of getting there. I feel like the group we're talking to here, this group is a little bit more of the I'm ready to be a leader. I'm ready to push forward and that independence that you talked about. That's what I feel like this group is made of. So I would say if you look at the whole company and the teams that are moving, you guys, first of all, it has become very apparent to me that our team is different on so many levels, like so many levels. But number one, we have so many rock stars. I mean, I can't even like explain it. I'm like so blown away by this team. And when I say this team, I mean like under Tiffany and everybody, like, and even Blair. I was with Blair Lavoie today, and she said, who is the person who signed Tiffany up? She's a Diamond Ambassador, and she said, your team is so drama-free, so happy. And it's like, you guys are really all friends. And I was like, we are! Like, we really are. So I think we're doing it right, and you guys are doing it right, and we're trying to teach it right. Do you want me to look up that info, Allie?
If you, well, does anybody else?
I can try. Yeah, if anybody else has a question.
Shannon, I'm really jealous of your tan. Welcome back.
Where was Shannon?
He was in Mexico.
Nice. Hey, do you guys want to know how many? Oh, who has a question?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Can you hear me? Okay. Can you, I was wondering like what your biggest like regret or like item that blocked you the most or something, like something like a takeaway of like, I would never do that part again.
That's a really good question. I'm trying to think what my biggest regret would be. Oh, man.
Maybe once you're diamond, you don't have any regrets.
No, that's not true. But I'm just trying to think that is a really good question. I think honestly, it would come down to a lot of like kind of what Allison was saying about those people that you feel like kind of slip through the cracks, and you feel like you're not really maybe supporting as much as they need. I feel like there's definitely some of those that I feel regretful. Like, shoot, I wish that I would have spent a little bit more time, And it comes up when like they ask me questions where I'm like, wait, you don't know that? Like, I should have taught you that, Like, I think that's what would be it, is to make sure nobody slips through the cracks. That you're thorough training, and that you're not just training your ones that are runners, that you're really training everyone, and that you're giving everyone that opportunity to learn this business and how to be successful, I guess. That would be my one regret. I feel like I wasn't perfect at that.
That's why the personal development is so important. I think most people get to a point where maybe you all started with a bang. Like, I know I did. And then all of a sudden I had a leg drop off. It was over the summertime, a leg drop off. I had all these people who had been really pushing just get distracted by life. And I was like, oh crap, now I have to figure out what to do. And I didn't know what to do. I hadn't been in
Hold on, stop. I'm so sorry.
What?
Megan is Ruby.
What?
Is that true?
I just about it.
Oh my god!
Yay!
I'm freaking
Megan!
out.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I seriously might cry. Oh, Megan,
awesome.
I wish I could hug you.
I know. Same here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm so happy. I'm gonna cry. I'm seriously crying. I'm so happy right now. Megan.
Thank you. I love my team so much. Oh my gosh.
See, you guys, this is what it's like to love your team. You cry every time they promote. I am so, so, so excited. Okay, I can't wait to
get back on track.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Allie. That was rude. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
I was just like, what the
Tracy, are you crying?
Yeah. Yes. She knows how it feels. Big. To become a gem in the company is like I don't know what diamond feels like, or emerald or something, but it is such a beautiful red glittery feeling. It's amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know what I was saying before.
Thank you.
I know. I think it was awesome. I think you were saying something awesome, and I just totally interrupted you. So sorry. But Megan texted me, and it came across the top, I'm Ruby, and I was like, oh, how special. You know what? It was Senior Ruby, when I was on a call with Megan, and we were like on a welcome call or signing people up or something. And it was special that it happened that way. So I'm glad that Megan went Ruby with all of us. That was fun. Yay, I can't wait to post about it. Okay. Okay, I think you were saying something about making sure that people are connected and plugged in. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm really exhausted. My whole family was sleeping in one bedroom last night, so I'm really tired.
Oh, so you're just tired.
Yeah.
I really want to answer your questions. And does anybody have anything they can think of they want to ask me or talk to me about?
What? Nobody? No. I don't believe that. If you were standing in front of Emily, what would you ask her?
I mean, are you going to go buy some diamonds now? That's what I was thinking about.
So, and somebody at church asked me that today. That's your diamond gift. You get diamond earrings.
Right.
So that is those are the diamonds I'm buying. Honestly, to celebrate it, I don't know. It still feels unreal, but I am getting my new car probably tomorrow. Yay. I was like getting on that immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my new car, and I am taking my parents to Hawaii with us now for sure.
Oh.
And they're going to bring my babies. So I'm going to have my babies in Hawaii. I'm so happy my boys are coming. And we went out to a nice dinner, and we just kind of, it's just this feeling of like total freedom, but it still has not sunk in. That, and then you start realizing all the like business stuff you have to learn.
Right.
You know, the whole like this kind of money is just it's a little not complaining, but it's just different to have to learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not so bad. Not so bad to learn. You guys will all learn.
I know what I was saying. I
Oh,
remember.
good.
Something about like how everything was kind of easy initially, and then I took some hits, and I had to take a step back and learn personal development and read some books and really kind of focus just differently on becoming a leader and motivating. And like you were talking about the accountability versus manager, accountability partner versus manager or boss. It's hard. Nobody under us has to be there. So you can't make them do anything that they don't want to. So you have to really motivate them. And how do you do that? Well, a lot of it takes looking from within and figuring that out, and obviously talking with your upline because they've already done it or they're in process too.
Yes, I totally agree with that. That and really getting to know each ambassador on your team individually, you know, your level ones, what does make them tick? What is their, you know, the color thing. I know you guys have heard that. If you don't know the color, the blue, gold, or blue, yellow, green, and red, Allie, is there somewhere that they can learn that if they don't know it? Because I think it's really important to know.
Well, actually, I noticed on our website, our back office, there's convention stuff from last year. So I believe Big Al's talk is in
Okay.
there.
I recommend learning if you don't know about the colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was in the golden under training at convention, so it would be back there.
it would or it wouldn't?
It would be.
Okay, yeah. I recommend you guys learning about the colors if you don't know, and then learning, you know, and being able to then put your team into those categories, and that's how you speak to them. That's where the incentives you give them. That's, you know, how you're going to get that drive. But nobody is going to do this business. Nobody will do it unless they figure out why they're doing it. And that's part of your job as an ambassador, is to help them figure out, why are you doing this? What are you doing it for? You know, why? And that's what's going to drive them.
How do you remind them? How do you remind people about their why? If they're like falling off track or whatever, how do you spark that again?
So it's hard, you know, and I don't know if you guys have read the book GoPro, but he talks about when you initially sign someone up, you ask them point blank, if you are struggling, if you're pulling away, you know, I know it's going to happen because it happens. Everybody has ups and downs, but when you're in a down, do you want me to leave you alone, or do you want me to get on your back and help you get back up? So I think that's interesting. I think it's a good thing to ask your ambassadors before it happens. What do you want me to do when this happens? So you kind of know how to handle them. Sorry, I just take a sip of water. But I think that most people, when they are in a down spot, they need to figure out, they need to retouch on their why. So I think just the same thing I was telling Tiari about these people you don't know as well. It's all about dripping and just reminding. Honestly, team pages do that work for you. They really do. Team pages are going to continue to drip on these people, you know, ambassadors who are in a low point. They're going to continue to see the momentum. They're going to continue to see other people promoting. They're going to continue to see the trainings, and it's up to them when they want to jump back in, but all you can do is encourage and cheer.
Sometimes, I don't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes seeing the promotions is discouraging when you're in a lull. Mm-hmm. And the advice, I remember crying to you a couple times.
Yeah.
And your advice then was to go back to those those DDD, what are those called? Destination Diamond, whatever, Celeste page, those team calls. She's like, those inspirational things. She's like, I usually just encourage you to pick one, because whatever it is, something in it is probably going to speak to you, and it's exactly what you need to hear.
Yes. The list of calls, the different calls that are, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, that is great. Because you know what I do? That's what I would do when I was down. I would kind of like scroll through, and you're going to pick the right call for you. And I can't explain it, but if you don't know what we're talking about, I bet we could probably find that post and repost it on this page. But what it is it's like 88 trainings or something, and they're all phone calls that you can listen to. But the Lord's going to help you pick the call that you need to hear, and that will help you get back on track. So, yeah, we need to probably post those. That'd be awesome. We can look that up. But yeah, and also diamond documentaries. Like to me, they're so inspirational. And putting blinders on is actually something I really want Tiffany to really do a training for you guys about this, because a lot of people don't know. She's kind of private about it. She'll talk about it, but she does want to get you guys to understand where she came from. She signed up the same week as Andrea Mitchell. And if you guys know Andrea Mitchell, Diamond Silver, I think Diamond Silver, I think.
Right.
Anyway, she's the one that did that call that you guys all listened to, the how to go gold to emerald by July or something. If you didn't listen to it. She's amazing. But she and Tiffany were friends for years, and they signed up the same week under different people. And Andrea went emerald in I think 4 months, and diamond in less than a year. So if you want to talk about putting on blinders, I mean, that was rough. That's rough for Tiffany. It was like, how do you not compare yourself to a good friend like that who is just flying through this business, and you're like just trying to get a couple customers, So anyway, putting on blinders is very, very important. And it can, and you'll see it on your team. You'll see people who get so discouraged by other people's success that they feel like they can't do it, or, it's just not working out the same, that it can break them. And that's why I think Tiffany needs to make a video about those feelings and how to handle them. And look at her now, it's just, she plugged away. She didn't let it break her. But I do think that's important to learn about and to understand those feelings.
I guess the other thing is to say, from my point of view, reach out. Don't think that your sponsor only wants to hear from the people who are doing great. They want to hear from you if you need help too. Mm-hmm. Just make sure you're communicating that with your team, that they can reach out to you, good, bad, ugly, die-off symptoms, whatever. Like, you're there for it all as long as they want you to be there.
Yes. Yes. I actually, this is kind of funny. I was asked to put together a plexus basket for my son's preschool class. They're doing like an auction, and they asked me to put together a basket. And I was like, okay. And I started thinking about what I wanted to put in the basket, obviously the triplex or the Fab Four. But I was thinking, you know what I want to do? I'm going to make up little cards that say unlimited personal training and personal coaching through products, through, interest in the business, whatever, unlimited, and kind of make it a card just to say, this is what you get when you get this basket. But I thought, what a great post. Like, I'm going to take a picture of it and be like, this is what you get when you buy Plexus. You get unlimited support. And I think that is important for us to think of as ambassadors. Like, that is our job. We are here to support our ambassadors, but also support our customers. And it's unlimited. So you will always be there to help and support your teams. So I think that's good to keep in mind.
Well, awesome. I don't want to keep anybody any later. Megan's got to get celebrating, right?
I know. I got to do this post, you guys.
But so I think the plan that we all agreed on was to reconvene maybe in March. And, I don't know what we'll talk about then. Maybe like talk about everything that's great that's happened in February or what you've learned or whatever. But let's take a little bit of break so that you guys can duplicate it with your own teams. Yeah?
Yay! Thank you guys. This team this page is awesome. I love this group. You guys are all going to be in Hawaii.
We're going to all be as tan as Shannon.
Yes.
In September.
In March, you'll get to be my Plexus baby.
Yeah.
Yay! I know. I can't wait. And I really want to come to you guys too. I really want to plan trips to everywhere. That's my thing. I'm like, I want to go everywhere and see you guys in person and really get to know everybody. So
Yeah.
Quick, quick
there's
plug
some
for your
events.
Chicago event.
Yeah.
yes,
So if anyone is, you have friends that live in the Chicago area or even ambassadors on your team, Emily and Allie are coming and we're doing an opportunity event March 3rd in Chicago, and it's going to be great.
yes, I'm so excited about that. So Chicago, and then I'm coming to Wisconsin at some point where that's in the works. We're working on it.
Kansas City is kind of in the talks for April too.
Yes, Kansas City in the spring. Going up to New Hampshire, probably. I'm like, wow. I remember hearing at a diamond thing, like a diamond, it was a panel, and they said, the only thing you don't really realize is how much you travel as a diamond. And I'm like, wow. I mean, it's all your choice. You don't have to, but it's so true. Like it's a different world, and it's so much fun. So basically I go to visit my friends now and get paid for it. Yay.
Yay. Well, awesome. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Bye, guys.